Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Susan. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's video, I'm going to show you my original recipe for a great marinade for delicious Frenched pork chops. Now, Frenching pork chops means that the butcher takes all the fat off the bone and leaves the bone pretty bare, leaving a nice round portion of lean pork loin. And so these chops are very flavorful. They cook beautifully on a grill pan, which is what I'm going to do today. And they are absolutely delicious on the outdoor grill. You can broil them in the oven. And so we're going to get into the marinade ingredients right now. So these are the ingredients for the marinade. To start off, I have half a teaspoon of celery salt. Then I have a teaspoon of Goya Adobo seasoning, which is this right here. In this little cup, I have a combination of a half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning and a teaspoon of dried chives. I also have a teaspoon of onion powder and a teaspoon and a half of garlic powder. And I buy my garlic powder at Costco. And then I'm using about 2/3 of a cup of olive oil. This is a lighter olive oil. This isn't a extra virgin olive oil, which is great for marinades and dressings. This is a great cooking oil. So the first thing I'm going to do is add the oil into my little bowl. And then I'm just going to add the garlic powder, the onion powder, the dried herbs, the Goya Adobo, and the celery salt. And then I'm actually also going to use some salt and pepper. So I'm going to use some salt, just a good pinch or two, because the celery salt already has sodium in there, so you don't want to add too much. And now a good pinch of cracked black pepper. Okay. And then all I'm going to do is whisk that all together. And I use no acid in my marinade for the pork chops, because these chops are so tender, they don't need an acid to break down any tough tissue or any of the tough meat on the chops. So let's move over to the chops. So these are the chops that I purchased from Trader Joe's. These are Frenched bone-in center-cut pork loin chops. You can see here, I'm going to open the package and I'm going to show you what the chop looks like. So this is what the chop looks like. The bone has been Frenched, which means the butcher has trimmed all the tissue and fat off the bone itself. You've got a beautiful, beautiful round loin here and a little bit of a tenderloin here. And then you've got this little bit of meat here that's connected to the bone. These are the type of chops that we're going to be using today. And I'm going to marinate them right in this little container here that they come in. And I check to make sure, yeah, there is a little bit of a paper under there. I want to take that out because I don't want it to cling to the marinade. And then I take my pastry brush and I dip it in. Actually, before I actually brush the chops, I think what I'm going to do is pour some of this into my little container here, because I want to save some of this for another use. So I'm going to pick up some of that marinade and I'm really generously brushing these pork chops. On this side. Really really getting that flavorful marinade on there. Then I'm going to turn them over and brush the other side. Now this marinade is delicious not only on pork chops, but it's delicious on chicken as well. You got some nice boneless, skinless chicken breasts or even some bone-in parts. You can take this mixture and actually put it right under the skin of the chicken, and that adds such incredible flavor to whatever protein you put it on. So the chops are ready. They're going to sit and marinate for a few minutes, and then when we come back, I'm going to grill them and show you the finished product. So hi everyone, I'm back. So I'm getting ready to put the chops on the grill pan. This is a nice sturdy indoor grill pan that's has a non-stick surface. I've got the pan heating up on medium high, and I'm going to put the chops on. And when you put the chops on, you want to hear that sizzle when they go on the grill. Hear that? That's what you want. Okay, you can get rid of that. And then with whatever's left in here of the marinade, I'm going to brush it on this side. And immediately you can smell the herbs and spices, you know, when the heat really hits the pork. So what I'm going to do is leave these on for a couple of minutes. I'm going to lower the heat to medium. And in a couple of minutes, I'm going to turn them so we get that beautiful cross hatch on both sides of the chops. And I'm going to just stir my fettuccine Alfredo over here. So, and this is just a frozen fettuccine Alfredo blend from Trader Joe's. Not sponsored, by the way. Trader Joe's does not know me. They don't know what I'm doing. So this is definitely not a sponsored video from Trader Joe's. I just happen to love Trader Joe's. So I'm just, you know, stirring the sauce. The frozen sauce cubes have melted for the most part. And now what they're doing is they're sort of defrosting the pasta here. So I kind of give it a turn so that all the pasta gets coated in the sauce, and then I cover it up. Since I don't have an actual cover for this pan, I just use a nice big piece of tin foil here. And on the chops, oh my gosh, if you could smell that, they smell fantastic. I'm just going to check the bottom. Okay, they need another minute or two. Actually, this one is ready to turn. So now I've got it going so that the cross hatches are going across this way. And I can actually move that one as well. Now, obviously, it's just for 2 people for dinner this evening. You would use 4 chops, obviously, 1 per person, because this is a solid 4-ounce chop. So this is definitely going to fill an adult up with 1 chop. But I do, when I make them for family, I do add a couple of extras just in case. So I'm going to let these sit. Let it get those cross hatches. Stir my fettuccine Alfredo here. Some of the pasta is defrosting and mixing in with the sauce, which is great. The important thing is to keep this covered though, and stir it every so often. While I'm waiting to turn those, I'm going to grab a plate. Now, for a vegetable, you can use any vegetable you want on the side. Roasted broccoli, green beans, zucchini. I love to roast zucchini in the oven, with a little bit of fresh garlic and grated cheese and a drizzle of olive oil and some fresh salt and pepper. And it makes a delicious oven-baked zucchini half. So I'm going to check these chops, and I'm going to turn them over. You see those cross hatches on the chops? Okay, and we're going to let them sit on this side for a minute. I'm actually going to lower the heat to medium low because I don't want the chops cooking so fast that the outside is cooked but the inside is still raw. So once these get the nice grill marks on both sides, I lower the heat to very low and I tent it with some tin foil. And then they can finish to cook that way. Okay, a lot of my pasta is defrosted. I do, on this one, I do like to add just a little more grated cheese and a pinch of salt and pepper, because I think it really brings out the flavors of the Alfredo sauce. As you can see, this is a nice browning on the outside, but as I lift the chop, you can see it's quite red on the inside. So we need time for them to really cook. Okay, so these can be moved again. So we're going to do this and this, because again, we want those nice cross hatches on both sides. And I'm going to lower the heat to medium low. So I'm back and the chops are done and the fettuccine Alfredo is done. I'm going to plate it up and show you how I do that. Okay, so I'm going to take one of these deliciously grilled chops and put it on the plate. And I'm going to take this spoon. There's some delicious juices in the bottom of this pan. And I'm going to spoon the juices all over the top. And then we're going to come over here to the fettuccine. And I'm going to take some tongs. And I'm going to toss about this fettuccine. Mix it together. I'm going to take some fettuccine. And when I set it on the plate, I'm going to turn it so that it creates a nice, round, pretty stack. And then I'm going to come over here. And I'm going to take just a little bit of fresh minced parsley, just a little bit on the top, like that. So here's the finished plate. You've got this gorgeous grilled pork chop that is flavorful and juicy, and you've got this luscious fettuccine Alfredo. I just sprinkle a little bit of fresh minced parsley on the top, and that's our finished meal. Along with a side salad, you've got a complete meal. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please subscribe, hit the like button. That helps my channel out. And hit the notification bell so that you're advised of all my future videos. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.